Well, hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria. Who wants to play? Who wants to get curious about life? Who wants to find the meaning of life? Who wants to expand possibilities and go on adventures and dream a big new dream? Anybody? Well, we have a full moon in Sagittarius coming up on May 23rd that wants to invite you to all these possibilities. And I am in love with this full moon. I'm excited by this full moon. Moon in Sagittarius. I have Venus and Mars in Sagittarius, and this full moon is exactly conjunct my Venus on the full moon. So get your passports ready. We're going on an adventure. You ready? Okay. Well, first of all, welcome to the Soul Nurturer channel, a channel that is, as many of us are, unfolding, emerging, transmuting from my original intention. I had no intention to talk about astrology at the beginning, not one. It was all about wanting to meet people here, to share some things out of my toolkit I've been gathering for 25, almost, I mean, my whole life, really. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am because I'm age fluid. But, I've been on a transformational spiritual journey since I was a kid. 15 was when I remember really my Sagittarius, Venus and Mars were really active, so curious, questioning, why do we believe what we believe? And so I began my journey. And since then, I've been supporting people on a transformational journey. I'm a transformational hypnotherapist. I am a Jungian-based spiritual director, all kinds of trainings. But anyway, my goal is just to be a soul guide to you on your path of unfolding. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome, welcome. I invite you to kind of explore the space. And if you feel resonance with what I'm offering, please do subscribe and comment as much as you like. The more comments under a video, the more the video, the YouTube video goes out to support other YouTube subscribers who may just need a video like this. And that is my true soul intention. My soul call here is to offer something for someone out there who, when they hear it, gives them hope, joy, optimism, inspiration, a realization that you can do this. You can do this. Yes, things can be challenging, but we're in Earth School. So we're here to grow and expand, especially with this full moon in Sagittarius. So welcome, welcome. And to my regular, consistent subscribers, viewers, commenters, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And for all of you who email me as well. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So first, I just want to drop into the feeling I have. I mean, you can tell I'm 5 days out. Of course, I'm recording this when we have the Jupiter Cazimi. We have Sun conjunct Jupiter. So you may be feeling it's the 18th of May. So I'm always curious how you're feeling, what you're noticing, because that's how we track. That's how we soul track. We are soul trackers in this unfolding of our soul potential, right? That's another major part of my mission, is to help people reclaim their soul potential, to nurture that potential into higher possibilities. But how are you feeling? What are you noticing? You check in with your feelings. What are you noticing when you journal? If you try to journal every day, and I used to be really good at this, and I need to get back at this, I would track how I was feeling first, what I'm noticing, what's my energy. And then I would look at the transits for the day and kind of go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Now I always can sense when the moon is shifting into certain signs. And the moon does move every 2.5 days into a new sign. So when the moon, it's on the day of the full moon, will move into Sagittarius, we'll feel that shift, right? From Scorpio to Sagittarius. And on top of that, we are moving into Gemini season right now. So we're on the precipice. The sun moves into Gemini. This is based on tropical zodiacal wheel. And, so yeah. When we're tracking it symbolically, and remember, astrology is just a language, a soul language, I think, a symbolic language where, our ancient ancestors began the process of being curious, Gemini, about, well, I notice when the moon is full, people tend to be more emotional. A lot of things are happening. And then they would chart it and track it and feel it, observe it, feel it, and find the corresponding alignments, right? So our ancestors did a lot of pre-work to get us to this awareness of being able to look at a chart, which I'm so grateful for, to see our souls on a spiritual journey of unfolding, reclaiming, and evolving. Okay, so happy birthday and solar return to my Gemini soul friends out there. The sun moves in to Gemini on May 20th and will stay there until June 20th. Okay. So in Gemini season, I was going to do a separate video about this, but I'm just so time crunched right now that I'm just going to put them all together. Gemini season, it's like we get to, I say, borrow the qualities, the archetypal expression of Gemini. We feel more curious. We maybe are more communicative. We want to talk. We want to share. We want to learn. We want to grow. We want to take short trips. We want to connect with our siblings. We want to really understand and learn. And Gemini is connected to the storytellers, teachers, the student, the perennial student. This axis of Gemini Sagittarius, I love it. It's just they're even though they're opposite, they're so similar. They're both in the desire to grow and search and learn and teach. But Gemini, when I think about Geminis, and tell me if you're a Gemini, if you relate to any of this, well, mercurial, ruled by Mercury, mutable air sign, but witty, so clever. Geminis can just like quickly with quick comebacks, right? You don't want to have a debate with a Gemini because they have done the research. They know, they've gathered the information, and they can, I have Mercury conjunct my sun, and my husband calls me a thin slicer. Like I can get a sense of what's going on in the world, and then I can break it down. That's also, that's Gemini. Witty, Gemini's, on the shadow side, maybe are considered fickle. It can be moody because they're definitely the twin, right? That's their symbol, the twin, the duality. Sometimes, they're in a certain kind of their Gemini feeling, and then sometimes they're not. There was a funny line years ago. I heard I don't know if it was an astrologer or somebody I was listening to who was a Gemini married to a Gemini, and somebody said, how do you guys get along, two Geminis? And he said, the four of us get along really well. So that speaks to Gemini, the duality. But, if you're a Gemini out there, and tell me what quality you love about being a Gemini. I mean, truly great conversationalist. Can be the life of the party if you're engaged in the subject and just always interested in learning and growing. And here's the thing. So is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is more about the search for the meaning and the higher understanding, the higher learning. What do we believe? Why do we believe? The connection to our spiritual beliefs, wants to expand out of limited beliefs. So let me pause and say, first of all, full moons, and those of you who follow the cycle, the lunation cycle, the reason I do it is just a beautiful time for those who are on a transformational cycle to pause and reflect with the moon, reflect on yourself, reflect where you are. And the full moon is all about reflection. It's when the sun is opposite the moon and the sun lights up the moon and the moon reflects back to us. The sun is our conscious awareness. It's our identity. It's, it's kind of our personality and the vehicle we move through in this life school or earth school. And the moon is our emotions. It's our intuition. It's the feminine. So this is the sun and the moon in opposition. It's the yin and the yang in opposition. But in oppositions, like with the full moon, we need to integrate. I think of taking the best from each and integrating, right? Well, all the qualities we need for our unique integration, right where we are. So full moons in general can draw out a lot of emotions. Everything is illuminated. Now, some of you out there, and tell me how you track the lunation cycle, but some of you do diligently set an intention on the new moon cycle. And then 2 weeks later, when the moon is full, you check in to see how you're doing. The full moon is the culmination point. It's the harvest. It's the, everything's illuminated and we're seeing where we are. I think of it as like set the intention for the journey. This is what came to me this morning. So you get to, say, the top of the mountain, and either you see out in the horizon what you've accomplished within the 2 weeks, or the longer lunation cycle of the new moon in Sagittarius, which happened, I think I made a note of that, on December 12th, 2023. So for you journalers out there, go look at your journal. If you tracked your intentions for that new moon 6 months ago, you've had a longer journey working with your intention to bring it to fruition. So we're on the top of the mountain and we either see, oh, there's more to do over here. I need to let go of that. I need to release that. Or, wow, look at all I've accomplished. And I feel with this new moon in see, it feels like a new moon to me, even though it's a full moon. And I'm going to tell you why. It feels so exuberant. It feels so full of possibilities. It feels like a new moon. But what intentions did you set that maybe you thought, gosh, it's never going to happen? And they're starting to blossom. They're starting to really bloom, and they're starting to really wake up your potential. Anybody experiencing this? Or maybe it hasn't activated for you yet. And also, you want to look at your own natal chart to see where this lunation cycle is. Where is 2 degrees of Sagittarius in your chart? That's where the full moon is lighting up that area of your life. Mine happens to be in my 10th house of career. What's going to happen? And I'm really excited about this because it's exact on my Venus. So Venus is money, and so some blessings there. This is a full moon that is going to bring the blessings you've been praying for. I really believe it. And I don't usually speak in absolutes like this, but I really believe it. Blessings are on their way, my soul friend. I know you've been waiting and you've been like, how much longer? It's coming. This whole week coming, starting from May 18th all the way through this lunation cycle. And we have 3 days before the full moon and 3 days on the other side of it to really have the potency to work with. So I really, go get your lottery ticket. This is the time for moving forward towards possibilities. Okay, so a couple other shifts I want to talk about, and then I'll go into some other ideas I have about this full moon. So let's see. Mercury has now shifted into Taurus, so we're being a little more practical with our planning, which is good because like this, I'm already feeling into the just, Sagittarius energy, which maybe I should talk about now, is very much like let's expand it into the highest possibilities. Let's go, Sagittarius wants to run ahead. It's a fire sign, and it loves to experience new things and to change and to grow, loves new cultures and exploring and learning higher in higher ways. Again, philosophy. This is a time for what do we believe about our lives, ourselves, and what we, faith-wise. Everything is up for review here for a good look to see if where you want to go, you have what you need. So Venus is also moving into Gemini on the day of the full moon. So we're getting all this powerful Gemini energy moving out of Taurus. But thank goodness for some, Mercury's still in Taurus. Let me look at the chart real quick because we also have Venus, which Venus is moving into Gemini the day of the full moon, and Uranus is still in Taurus. Well, it's definitely shifting from earthy Taurus into this air sign of possibilities, of really thinking of new ways of doing things, especially with this full moon in Sag. So where is it happening in your chart? And I want to say this, I have been trying to offer these 20-minute consultations, but I'm too busy right now to do that. Maybe I'll do a video on how to guide you just to go to astro.com and find where lunation cycles are happening in your chart. so that you can do it on your own. I do 20-minute consultations for people who want to work with me with the soul guidance. I use the chart in the backdrop just to kind of bounce off of intuitively to help guide you. So consults are only for people who want to schedule sessions at this time. Okay, sorry about that. I'm still doing my lives on Tuesdays at 4:44 Pacific time. And I'm going to do one on this coming Tuesday. And I feel like that's winding down too. Again, I'm getting so busy with clients and projects that I'm trying to decide what I can shed here. Perfect timing for the full moon, because full moons are, it's like you have to decide what's still in your way of your way. What do you need to release? With the Sagittarius full moon, it is about what beliefs are still constricting you that you need to release. But we have a lot of support here. We have such beautiful support. So Jupiter is going to move into Gemini on the 25th. It's like, it's just really like expand your curiosity to guide you to your higher potential. And on the full moon, Venus is conjunct Jupiter, these two beautiful planets of, Venus, the planet of love. It's connected to money, what we value, our resources, how we love. And Jupiter, the planet of, just optimism and expansion and growth. So they're coming together. So it's really like, what, it's so lucky and so blessed. Like, you get really clear, let the moon illuminate what you really desire, what you really are passionate about, what you really love, that you want to be free to explore. We're really, this is exploration time and moving forward. Anybody ready to move forward? I know I am. Okay. So this is what the feeling came to me when I first sat with the chart. And this is what I wrote. Get your soul passports ready. You're about to expand your inner territory to more beautifully and unlimitedly explore your possibilities and explore the world. Truly, Moon and Sag wants to learn about different cultures and understand more globally. And we are. I have such great hopes and prayers for this full moon, that it'll illuminate throughout the world where we need to come together, where we need to stop fighting and look for solutions together and honor the different cultures and honor different philosophies. That's my constant prayer. Let's like lay down the fighting and open our hearts and find those higher possibilities. And I know that's a lofty ideology, but that is the potential I feel in this full moon and where we're heading and where we need to move from. Wow, breaking out of a lot of limitations here, right? So you know how, like, when you're planning a trip, and what's the first thing you do when you're planning a trip to somewhere new? Well, you have to do a little research. You get curious. Well, what's this place like? And then you get into the details. What do I have to do to get there? You book your flight, maybe you book your Airbnb or your hotel or your rental car, and you get all the details ready for your journey. And then you joyfully await the adventure. So I hope that some of you, remember, we're kind of like each month, each lunation cycle, we're building and we're learning and we're growing and we're moving towards possibilities. And I always say this, we need to prepare to receive our blessings. So I hope you've been preparing, but this is also, I'm speaking kind of loosely about Gemini, the sun in Gemini. I'll take care of the details and the smaller, the planning of it, when Sagittarius is like, let's go, right? So then you get on the plane, like Sagittarius is like, all right, it's my day to go on an adventure. I know for me, having all this Sagittarius energy, I love to travel. I love even road trips, but mostly I love getting on a plane, because so here we are in this metaphorical feeling of this full moon. You've done all your planning. It's go time. You're excited. You're going on your adventure. You are going to soar to new heights, and you're going to see a higher perspective. This is all, now I'm talking metaphorically about Sagittarius. and you will also have a very honest look. Sagittarius is also connected to really like blunt honesty. Like if you want the truth, go to a Sagittarius sun rising or moon. My best friend has her moon in Sagittarius, and she is, I know when I ask a question, I better buckle my seatbelt because she's going to give it to me straight. That's Sagittarius. So we've got this adventurous, you know, feeling coming. Like this is a time to say, what have I always wanted to do that I never let myself do? I talked myself out of it. My beliefs were too limited. Sagittarius, now the challenge though is Sagittarius can be so optimistic, so big. Like today I had this brand new idea. I'm always thinking about different classes and different ways to do them, and I really have been kind of like burnt out and offering things. I've been offering, you know, workshops and trainings for 25 years, and I just kind of got little, I don't know, kind of a little burnt out. And I'm going to do a video about that because I think it's really important what burnout feels like when you're an empath and when you yeah, and you're healing and you're doing your own transformational work and you're a wounded healer. I do identify with that archetypal expression and how we can easily burn out. So I'm going to do a video. Anybody interested in that, let me know in the comments. Okay, so here we are in that Sagittarius adventure. You know, we are it's more carefree, we're optimistic. It's kind of like the gypsy, you know. I think of that with Sagittarius energies, the gypsy, the traveler, also the teacher and the philosopher, for sure, taking us to the higher learning, the higher possibilities. So that's mostly what I wanted to share about the full moon. I wonder if you have any questions. Let's see if there's anything else in my notes that were really important. I told you that Jupiter is entering Gemini, and this is, you know, Jupiter moves is in a sign for 1 year. So it's moving out of Taurus. It's going to move into Gemini on May 25th. It'll be there till June 9th. Some of you will be having your Jupiter returns. Do you have Jupiter in Gemini? It's going to be a very blessed year for you then when it moves in there. Or Geminis will, when you have the exact conjunction or like 5 degrees before or after, you're going to feel really blessed too. It's a really beautiful time. So, yeah, just let yourself be curious. This is a time to express, to share, to tell a new story, an honest story. This is a time to really take a look at, you know, dust those old vision boards off and vision even higher, but with grounded possibilities and a plan of action. That's what I was saying. I had this idea for this workshop and this whole idea, and I'm not going to give it away yet because I'm going to announce it soon, what I'm going to do. But I went from, instead of 9 months to a year of this, like, oh, I'm going to have this container and we're going to do this work and that work, and it'll be 9 months to a year. I'm like, no, how about shorten it to 9 weeks? Then I can offer it a few times. But I am going to be announcing something about this. It's going to be a small class to begin with on Zoom. I'm going to be holding space in a symbolic way to nurture soul potential, to reclaim your soul potential. It's what I'm all about. It's what I do one-on-one with people. It's what I believe my soul mission is here to do, to nurture that potential in all of us so we can bring our best and co-create a beautiful world together. All right. Well, thanks for being with me. I hope that something I said really connected with you. Do let me know how you're feeling. Track yourself through the full moon. Go back and look at what intentions you set. Tell me, how did they come to fruition? Or did you learn what you still need to work on? Release, clear. That's what we think about full moons with. And it's really like this. I keep telling my clients this, and I feel this with this full moon too. Because Sagittarius wants to be free. Do not limit me, right? So breaking up with all limitations. So you can soar to your highest possibilities and go for your dreams, go for your visions, and also, you know, honor your true knowing, your soul essence, where it wants to roam in the world. Like I wanted to say this too. You are free to roam about your beautiful life. Roam to those places that you desire, and you know, give thanks in advance, because this is about joy and optimism too. Remember, Sagittarius expands. And when we pray and we lift our prayers up and we give thanks in advance, we are more in alignment and we are in perfect position for manifesting the dreams of our souls. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for being with me. I really appreciate all of you. Peace be with you on your journey of unfolding. And may this full moon just lift you up to your highest possibilities, bring so much joy, bring breakthroughs and blessings. May it be so. See you next time. Bye-bye.